Hey everyone, and welcome back to another fancasting episode. As you may have guessed from the title, today I'm going to be giving you my choices for who could play the X-Men in the MCU future films. There have been countless amounts of X-Men teams in the comics, so in this video I am going to be focusing on the original X-Men team that first appeared back in September of 1963. The team consisted of Jean Grey, Scott Summers, Bobby Drake, Hank McCoy, Warren Worthington III, and their leader, Charles Xavier. Alongside the original team of X-Men, I will also be casting Storm and Wolverine in this video, as they are essential members of the X-Men team. Before I start, I also want to say that I will be casting both younger and older versions of the characters that can fit whatever the MCU plans for them. Majority of my choices are based purely on the appearances of the actors, just to keep the video quite brief. With all that being said, let's get into it. So, let's begin with the telepathic and telekinetic mutant, Jean Grey. For an older Jean Grey, roughly in her 40s, I have both Claire Forlani, I think it is, and Hilary Swank. So, the main reason I felt Claire Forlani would make a good Jean Grey is due to her hard-edged facial features and jaw structure. Now, this seems quite unusual for Jean's character, as when she is first introduced, she is very vulnerable but powerful at the same time. However, I personally find the Jean Grey character boring until the point she is inhabited by the Phoenix Force and becomes Dark Phoenix. This is the main reason for choosing Forlani, as I think she could expertly pull off the evil side of Jean Grey, which I think is likely to be developed in the MCU. Moving on, I also had Hilary Swank. Swank has a much softer face than Forlani, but is capable of pulling off a variety of emotional expressions, as seen in such films as $1 Million Baby and I Am Mother. Now, let's look at my two options for younger Jean Grey. Firstly, I have actress Alicia Debnam Carey, best known for her role as Lexa in the 100 TV show. Carey is very slender with large eyes, making her appear physically vulnerable, but her fighting skill and leadership role in the 100 TV show really convinces me that she would be capable of pulling off extremely powerful powers that Jean Grey and the Phoenix possess. For my second choice, I chose Zoe Dutch, who often plays comedic roles, which I feel could be a nice trait she could bring to the Jean Grey character that we have never seen before. Additionally, Dutch can appear very aggressive and harsh depending on her makeup and styling, which would be great for her character when she becomes Phoenix. Moving over to the eventual leader of the X-Men, Scott Summers, aka Cyclops. Starting with the older choices, I have Josh Duhamel of Transformer film fame, as well as Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who I believe has been the top pick in many fancasts. Gordon's performance in The Dark Knight Rises shows he is capable of acting in the realm of superheroes. Additionally, the Dark Knight trilogy is darker than many of the MCU films, which I feel will fit the darker tone of the X-Men films will likely take in the MCU if they tackle mutant hatred. From his roles in The Dark Knight and Inception, we can see he is capable of pulling off a vulnerable man as well as someone who is strategic and understanding of what needs to be done to complete a mission, which is essential to the Cyclops character. Josh Duhamel is also capable of being a man in charge, as we see him leading the armies in the Transformer films. Additionally, I think Duhamel's physical appearance is more fitting to that of Scott Summers, and I could imagine him in a relationship with Hilary Swank. For the younger version of Cyclops, I went with Kellen Lutz and Max Irons. Kellen Lutz has the perfect physical appearance for Cyclops in my opinion, and is a bit of a pretty boy which I can imagine Cyclops being in the films. Max Irons is also a pretty boy, but can have a harsher look when he needs to. Out of the two, I think Lutz looks the part more, but Irons would be better suited to my young Jean Grey choices, in particular Alicia Debnam Carey. Now we move over to Bobby Drake, aka Iceman. In the comics, Bobby Drake is a very jokey, cheeky, chappy character of the team, so for that reason I decided to go slightly younger in his casting, with him being roughly in his 30s. The first actor I stumbled across who I thought looks very cheeky was Jamie Dornan. However, I decided against this because I personally feel he would make a great Cyclops rather than Bobby Drake. But I did come to Chad Michael Murray, who I think would be the perfect Bobby Drake, with his cheeky appearance and comedic roles in various projects, making him perfect for the immature, joking character of the team. For my younger choices, I chose KJ Apa from Riverdale and Timothy Chalamet. However, I think between the two, Timothy Chalamet would be better and looks slightly younger than the actors for Jean and Scott, which is the intention. Hank McCoy, aka Beast, is the next of our X-Men characters. Originally, Beast was not in his blue form, but rather just a very large human, but for this we are going to be pretending that Beast has always been in his blue form. I must admit I struggled with this casting as I was looking for someone with large physical stature, but after thinking about it, I think the MCU will CGI Beast and therefore I chose Russell Crowe to play Hank McCoy. The main reason for this choice is because I think Crowe has the perfect voice for this character and would be excellent at philosophical. No, I can't say that. Oh my god, right. Sorry about that, guys. Right, let me go for that again. Philosophical quoting and talks throughout, as we see of Beast in the X-Men animated series. Beast is someone who is extremely soothing in his voice despite looking physically threatening, which suits Crowe perfectly in my opinion. When casting the younger Beast, I actually went in the other direction and cast more based on looks, as I couldn't think of many young actors with a voice as wise as Crowe's. Therefore, I went with Tyler Hoechlin from Teen Wolf fame, because I think his facial features and hairy eyebrows make him appear a bit beast-like. We then have Warren Worthington III, aka Angel, and from his name you can probably guess that he is a very rich and privileged pretty boy. My first choice to play the older Angel is Josh Holloway, mainly due to his pretty smile and long blonde hair, which matches certain iterations of the Angel character perfectly. However, my number one choice for Angel is Matt Bomer. Despite being 42, he still looks very youthful and has perfect skin with bright blue eyes. With his hair dyed blonde, I think Matt Bomer would be great in the role. For my younger Angel, I chose Billy Unger from Disney Channel fame because I feel Angel would have a similar childishness as characters in Disney shows do. However, my top pick to play younger Angel would be oh my god, I'm going to butcher his name. Zylka, due to his physical appearance and ability to act both immature and childish as well as mature. Finally, we move on to the leader and founder of the X-Men himself, Professor Charles Xavier. This one was extremely hard because Xavier is such a big character and only the best actors should have the honour of playing him. So, for that reason, I chose the one and only Ghost Rider himself, Nicolas Cage. No, I'm only joking. Fucking hell, can you imagine Nick Cage whipping around in them wheels? But seriously, I did struggle with this, but eventually settled on Morgan Freeman. I mean, not much can really be said about Freeman, other than he has a very calming presence that would be perfect for the piece Charles is always trying to achieve. Additionally, Freeman plays Lucius Fox in the Batman trilogy, so dealing with superheroes would not be new to him. Now, this one might seem very out there, but for a younger Professor X, I have actually gone with the Vampire Diaries actor Joseph Morgan. I think Morgan would be good in the role for a few reasons. First of all, he is British, so would already have the accent nailed down, and I think he looks the appropriate age in comparison to the other characters I have cast, looking slightly older but not too much older, similar to James McAvoy and the students in the newer Fox X-Men films. Aurora Monroe, aka Storm, is another key member of the X-Men, despite not being one of its original members. So, looking online, I found 3 older actresses I thought could make a great Storm, including Megan Good, Gabriella Union, and Regina King. I think Megan Good fits the role appearance-wise, as she is often seen with short blonde hair, very similar to Storm's white mohawk in certain comics. Gabriella Union would also suit the role, and I can imagine her ruling alongside Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther, as she does in the comics. However, my top choice is Regina Hall. I am personally not too bothered about the Black Panther and Storm relationship, and would prefer to see Storm as an independent character, which I think Regina Hall would nail. She is extremely pretty, yet has a hard look to her that I think one of the X-Men leaders should have. I also know that she has a harsh tone in her voice when she wants, again perfect for one of the X-Men's best leaders. For my younger Storm, I chose American actress Imani Hakim, who is physically how I would imagine Storm to look after dyeing Hakim's hair and adjusting her eye colour. Now, for the one everyone is waiting for, Wolverine. So this is definitely one of the hardest, as no one wants to let go of Hugh Jackman's amazing run as the character, and whoever takes over the role will be compared to Jackman's portrayal no matter what. But I'm going to go for it anyway. Now, I'm going to admit I really struggled and haven't really found anyone that I straight away thought, yes, they're definitely the next Wolverine. But I did my best, and for the older Wolverine, I selected Joe Manganiello. With his beard, he has that animalistic look I want Wolverine to have, and it is clear from his previous films that he is very capable of getting into great shape for the roles he plays. The only issue would be the height of the actor, as he is 6'4", with Wolverine being only 5'3" in the comics. However, if he is good enough, the height shouldn't matter, as we saw with Hugh Jackman's portrayal. I actually managed to find 4 younger actors that I think would make a great version of Wolverine. I can't talk about them in terms of performances, as I have never seen any of their movies. However, I think 3 of them are unknowns, allowing them to make the role their own. Firstly, I have English actor Tom Brittany, followed by American actor Derek Theller. I also thought Scott Eastwood would make a good choice for the role, but ultimately my number 1 choice was Grayston Holt. He is capable of getting into great shape, has great facial hair, and is Canadian like the comic character, making him the best choice in my opinion. So, that was a lot of characters to cast, but I hope you all enjoyed it and managed to make it to the end of the video. I would love to hear your choices for who should play the X-Men, because I really struggled with this one. As always, drop this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more Marvel videos like this one. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.